Alright, Shalom, and welcome to another show, GMS Collage, giving all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua first and foremost, giving double honors to the elder apostles, GMS who rule well, and honor and salutations to you other brothers that are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. We don't have any specific topic we wanted to go through today, but we're going to have an open forum, and hopefully the Lord fill us with the Spirit so that we can teach this word. So I was I guess I could talk about this. I was on the comment board the last couple of days, and you got a couple of guys saying certain things here and there, and they get offensive as far as the men of the Lord, the elder apostles. What they talking about, man? They get real offensive, and it's like, where was the love that you had when things were, when you were in the good graces, so to speak, when you were coming to the Passover, when you was doing all these things, and double honors to the elders and whatnot? Where was all the love that you had when you were in good graces? Now that you're not, now you have all these bad things to say. Now, the person I'm speaking of in particular is whoever runs the Good Samaritans channel, whoever it is that runs that channel. I believe it's the dude that they call Mac 10, and I'm gonna just go ahead and speak on him. The elders, I'll say this about the elder apostles, and we'll take it however the Spirit leads us. But the elder apostles have been the same from day one, from the time that they came on YouTube in 2007, even before then. But as far as from what we know, they've been the same from 2007 until now. Their character hasn't changed. If somebody was saying something that they didn't like, they let it be known. If somebody was doing something that they didn't like, they let it be known. And that's how they've always handled themselves. And you, I wish I knew your Hebrew name, so I wouldn't keep calling you Mac 10, but everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say Mac 10. And we watched you 2 years in a row in Elder Tahar's face when they the same mentality. Yeah. Whenever they wanted to get on somebody, they got on somebody. Same doctrine. And you guys had no problem with it. But as soon as that was directed towards you, as soon as that ill intent or ill will was directed towards you, now all of a sudden they don't love enough, they don't have enough compassion, they don't have enough whatever else they say, So my thing is as a man, if you didn't have a problem with it when there was somebody else, and now all of a sudden you do, that shows your character, man. You got to be a man of high character to be able to do this thing, man. You got something?
I was looking for something, but I couldn't find it.
What is it? Excuse me.
As many as I love, I chasten you. Because I was thinking.
Oh, that's Hebrews 12 and 6.
I was thinking about it, it's becoming more and more clear. I mean, it's been clear, but see, as of right now, the truth is so out there, you know what I mean? So it's not like the truth is hiding from anybody. People are now starting to hide from the truth, right. You know what I'm saying? The truth is all out there. It's becoming clearer and clearer who the Spirit of the Heavenly Father is dealing with, right. So, but you just basically have the haves and the have-nots. You got these guys, as is written, these guys that are going to fall out the truth. They're going to murmur, they're going to backbite, they're going to be disobedient to parents, and it's starting to manifest now, and you see it in these guys,
This is Hebrews 12 and 6. It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth."
And so, I mean, the Lord is going to send rebuke through his men. He's going to chasten through his men. That's how he's going to reprove the men of the Lord, the 144,000, the elect men. So, if you can't take a little rebuke or a little, how you gonna get better? How you gonna be reproved? If you can't take a warning, an admonishment, how you gonna take heed? So the problem is you guys, you lack character. Because if you had character, when somebody went to go tell you something wrong, you look in the mirror and you make some adjustments, to better yourself. Or when people tell you something, you buck up and you go off and you want to find excuses on why you're right. And why words will follow you.
It says, if he endured chastening, the Most High dealeth with you
That's
as
key,
with
though.
sons.
He said if you endure,
Right.
you know what I mean? And you go through it and you crying and whining and you bitching and moaning, and, you know? You got an excuse on why they're not the men of the Lord no more, like the brother said. These two pastors, we seen it, you know? He was right up there with the elders, like he was a big dog. He was a big shot. Garments like the Howard Shai, you want to be like it. You want to be something that you're not. You want to be your elder, but you don't got them credentials. You know, you want to dress like Yahweh Shai, but there was only one man that was found worthy to release that seal, man, and it was Yahweh Shai. You know, you're not worthy for that. And then you get a little rebuke, and then now you want to start pointing your finger everywhere. You know, it's all about character, baby. You know, so either you got it or you don't. That's why I say, read that again real quick.
It says, if he endure chastening,
If you endure it, go ahead.
the Most High dealeth with you as with sons.
Right, now you're a soldier. Now you can be a soldier in Yahweh Shai's army, you know? Now you can fight, now you can do battle. But if you can't get out of basic training, man, hit the high road, man.
These things, order is a principle that you see in everything across the board. It's not just something that we talk about here in Great Millstone. Order is a principle in everything, and along with that principle comes you can't be a leader until you learn to follow, man. Matter of fact, what is that scripture there where it says basically it says you're held under the rudiments of the world, and until you get tried by not the rudiments, the elements of the world. Let me look for the scripture real quick. Speak for a second, bro.
The brother's right. Yahweh Shai, you got guys who want to just get off the porch and start running.
Right.
You got to crawl before you walk.
Right.
You know, you got to take baby steps. It's an order to everything, and every element of life. To Esau's army, to the world to come. There's gonna be an order in the kingdom. You're gonna have to follow behind a man in the kingdom, man. If you got a problem with it here, how much? What the scripture say in Peter's? He said not Peter. Paul said the brothers that's in the truth is gonna judge the whole world. That you're not worthy to judge the smallest of the mountains.
Right.
You know, but if you can't deal with order on this side on building the kingdom of heaven, you got it, bro.
Yeah, this is Galatians 4:1. It says, "Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all." So even a king, a king or a prince who is going to take hold of the kingship has to still be as a servant, which is you got to be under some type of order in the beginning, right? So it says here, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of time was come, the Most High sent forth His Son, made of a woman, made under the law. So there's an order to it, man. You got to be able to follow the tutors. You got to be what's the other word they use? Tutors and governors before you can become the king. Even if you are like, for instance, right? If you watch The Lion King, it's a crazy example, but it's popped in my head. You had Mufasa, you had Simba, right? And Mufasa had that little bird, that little dodo bird. His name was Zazu, right? And Zazu was like Simba's is like his mentor.
Yeah.
Took him around the kingdom. Don't go over there. Don't go over there. This is how you carry yourself as a young man, as a young lion.
This was the prince.
Right.
Yeah,
he was a prince.
To the throne.
Right.
Yep.
At the end of the day, like Yahweh Shai said, he said, I can call 12 legions of angels. But it was his duty to be underneath that order. Instead, he learned the obedience from suffering. But he's the second in command of all the universe. You see, so he had to be underneath that rule before he could be a leader. But you got guys who want to jump straight to being a leader, man. You know, Simba didn't buck up against Zazu. What he said? Oh man, I don't want to do this. And Zazu said, hey, this is the nature of the business, kid. You know.
If I add to leadership is a mind frame that most people that are in leadership, that's a position that they did not want.
Right.
You know,
right.
Nobody. Leadership is something that, you know, you got it or you don't. You know what I mean? And most people that are in leadership, they really didn't want to take that role, but it was something that was forced upon them because it was a spirit that was put in them, man. See, if you can't follow directions, nobody gonna want to follow you, man. Anybody that can't follow simple directions, nobody's gonna want to follow you, man.
Let me read the definition of element, because you got here, it says in the third verse, it says, even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. I want to read the definition here. It says any first thing from which the others belonging to some series or composite whole take their rise, an element, first principle. The letters of the alphabet as the elements of speech, not however the written characters, but the spoken sounds. So again, you don't go right into learning how to speak sentences.
Right.
You got to learn how to sound out those letters first. Ah, ba, ga, da, so forth and so on.
Right.
And then once you get that down, then you can go into speaking words. And then once you get the words down, then you can go into speaking sentences. And then you can go into speaking paragraphs and so forth and so on. You know, but there's look, this principle follows everywhere.
Governs everything.
Governs everything, man. Why do you have these certain guys who just don't want to be scolded? That's all that happened to you when you got suspended for that duration of time. That wasn't nothing to say you was out of the truth. You just got suspended. You got scolded a little bit. You know?
Yeah, that was the time to reflect on your ills, get rid of some of your demons. That was the time to fast, to do a lot of praying, to meditate, to get yourself right. Once them demons get inside you, man, you gotta kill them. Mm-hmm. You gotta get rid of them quick, fast, and in a hurry. Mm-hmm. Because again, man, they'll invite their friends, and they'll start to snowball, and it'll grow upon you, and then it'll come out lashing like a woman, man. Mm-hmm. Then you come out rebuking the elders, rebuking everybody. You know what I mean? You wanna keep reading?
Let me see if I can. Let me read some more of that definition.
Yeah.
It says here.
Yep, you gotta rebuke them demons, man.
It says here, the elements from which all things have come, the material causes of the universe, the heavenly bodies.
It talks about the universe.
Right.
Like we said, these principles govern everything, man. Mm-hmm. Order governs everything, man. Everything. Go ahead, bro.
It says the heavenly bodies, either as parts of the heavens or as others think, because in them the elements of man, life and destiny were supposed to reside. The elements, rudiments, primary and fundamental principles of any art, science, or discipline, i.e. of mathematics, Euclid's geometry. So again, the same thing. Any form of discipline, any time whether it's you're being a soldier in the military, whether you're being a student in school, whether you're being a police officer, anything that takes discipline to learn, or martial artist, anything that takes some form of discipline, you're going to have to follow rules. You're going to be scolded. You're not going to get it right. You're not going to get it right by yourself, man. And this is a principle in anything. So why is it different? Everything follows this principle, but GMS can't. Everything follows that principle, but we can't.
You got guys that they want to be like the elders, but they're not. They're not able to walk in the elders' shoes.
Right.
You don't want to take on the burden that the elders have. You know what I mean? If the demon that jumps on the elders jump on you niggas, y'all gonna bug the fuck out. Y'all gonna be out the truth, man. Y'all don't want just take what you've been given and rock with it. There's been an order to it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with look at the elders and look at the apostles, right? And look at the elders. You know what I mean? Underneath them, and look at your camp leaders. And look how strongly they are in the truth and how boldly they stand and how long they've been doing the work. That's a perfect order to get behind, man. Regardless of where you're at. It's a perfect order to get behind. But if you see something wrong with that order, that means there's something wrong with you. That means you're out of order, man. You're out of chaos. You're out of whack, man. You're all bugged out. You're bugged out. You want to be a leader, but instead of saying that everybody want to be a fucking chief, but not enough Indians, man.
Too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Yeah, right. It's a thing of order.
But why only the elders can be dealing directly with Yahweh Shai? Well, you know who had that same question? The men who Moses carried across the Red Sea. What do they say? Why we got to deal with you, Moses?
Yep.
Why can't we go, directly to the power?
Yep.
That's just the order of things. The same, likewise, in this time, where we can't go directly to the Most High, we got to go to the Yahweh Shai first. There's steps to it, man. There's order to it. And let me say this, like, my thing is, I'm gonna teach this word due to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. I'm trying to be delivered. This is why I speak this truth. This is why I continue in this truth, because I want to get out of here. But when we defend the elder apostles, it's not because we're man pleasing. We defend the elder apostles because it's a part of the ministry, man. it's a part of the whole body of our work. Is we got to be able to follow order in one hand. You got to learn how to be brotherly on one hand. You got to learn how to be responsible on another hand. There's all different kinds of things that embody this truth, and being in order is one of them.
Hey, if I can add too, another thing is, you guys don't know who the apostles are through the Spirit. Y'all looking at it from a carnal lens.
Right.
If you knew who the apostles really were through the Spirit, and not just the apostles, right? But if you knew that Jeremiah is out there on the highways and byways, Paul's out there, Ezra's is out there. If you knew to respect your brothers, like the Lord said to do, if you knew that order, you will follow suit. But because you don't have that faith, the Most High is not dealing with you like that. You look at the apostles as just men, but you don't know who they are through the Spirit. You don't know that they're great men through the Spirit. Back here, doing the same works that they was doing in the ancient world, but doing it today. Likewise, your brothers. But you guys can't look at things spiritual. You look at things carnal as who's this man trying to tell me what to do. But you don't understand that these men were stood up by the Most High. So if you believe in the Most High, you believe the order that He set forth, you would just get in where you fit in and do your part. And like the Lord said, feed my sheep. But instead, you guys are too busy. Your lot was to buck up against those men that were feeding the sheep. And here you go. We got to come out here. We got to teach the truth, because the younger brothers, and I'm a young brother too in this thing. The brothers that's coming up that need to be strayed the right way, so to speak.
And brothers that's been in it for a while.
Yep.
And that's another thing too. We're not saying that any man is above correction. Even people that myself, I need to be corrected sometimes.
We all do.
We all need to be corrected.
We're here primarily to. That's the problem with you niggas. That when you get corrected, you feel like you don't need correction. You know what I mean? If we all need correction. Right. We're here to be corrected, man.
Ain't no wrong with correcting people, but why y'all gotta be so hard? That shit sounds crazy to me, man.
Yeah. Yep.
I just want to read this, because this is something else that followed that principle of doing things step by step. It says here, Hebrews 9:6. It says, "Now when these things were thus ordained, the priest went always into the first tabernacle, accomplishing the service of the Most High. But into the second went the high priest alone, once every year, not without blood, which he offered for himself and for the errors of the people. The Holy Spirit is signifying that the way into the holiest of all was not yet made manifest." So you see, they had to do that. They had to do it that way first. The way that was going to be manifested was we will all be priests, but we had to learn how to even follow the priesthood first. Before we could be the priests, before we could rule over the whole entire world, we had to be followers of the priesthood first.
Understand the importance of it.
Right. While as the first tabernacle was yet standing, which was a figure for the time then present, in which were offered both gifts and sacrifices that could not make him that did the service perfect as pertaining to the conscience. You see? So we had to learn how to follow the priesthood first. That was first. That was the thing that was ordained. Where we're gonna set up priests, and if they want to get to me, they got to go to the priest. If they want to, even in sacrifice, you had to go to the priest to sacrifice for a sin you made. So now, once that's all said and done, now that the Lord Yahweh Shai is passed on the cross, now we can be the priests of the earth, man. Now we can rule the earth. Now we can set forth the monument, so to speak, that to Zion.
Who are we gonna be a priest to? These other nations.
Right.
These other nations are gonna have to come to us.
Right.
To get that. We're gonna be the oracles of the Most High, like, as we are. So they're gonna have to come to us. Right. This thing is about humility, man. It's about humbling yourself down and bringing yourself down low. Right. This thing has nothing to do with pride. This thing of ours. It's about humbling yourself down, man, and getting in order and getting in line, man. Getting in line, and then you got guys that they're not gonna want to follow order, so they got it's gonna be put to death on the side, because there's gonna be order us going into the kingdom, There's gonna be order going. There's not gonna be a doubt in anybody's mind about that,
Read this real quick. This is Proverbs 16:19. "Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud."
Yeah, to be. This thing of ours is about being lowly, man. Lowering yourself down, bringing yourself down as much as possible, you know. And ultimately, we ain't shit, man. It's a blessing just to be out here with this brother, speaking these words, man. Knowing that any given time, the Heavenly Father could bug you out, man. Heavenly Father could pluck you out of this thing, man. So it's humbling just to have this spirit that's been on me and this brother lately to push out these shows the way we've been doing. Because, hey, take King David for an example. You had Saul was on the throne. Saul was trying to put King David to death, man. And
Right.
King David referenced Saul, man.
Right.
He said, "Look,
Reverence,
man,
yep.
reverence Saul." He said, "Look, it was the Lord that put Saul in the place that he was. He made him king over him, so he gave him, he reverenced him, man. And he was trying to go for his life, because why? King David knew the order. King David was about order, you know."
It says this is James 4 and this is James 4 and 7. It says, "Submit yourselves therefore to the Most High, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded."
Hey, real quick, bro. Yeah, submission is,
Right.
is bowing down, man.
Right.
Giving your all to, man. Lowering yourself, bringing yourself down real low. Total submission.
These dudes, they wanna go directly to the Most High, but according to what we know in the scriptures, the Lord is gonna say, "Well, you can't even follow the men that I set up.
Yeah.
How you gonna come directly to me? You know, the Lord Yahushua. How you gonna come directly to me, and you can't even follow the men that I set up?"
The Lord said, "This is Joshua, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna deal with Joshua,
Right.
just like I dealt with Moses."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like, and Moses was what? He was a leader. He was a king of Israel. He was a leader, you know. He led the nation of Israel, you know.
It says, "Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up."
Yeah. Humiliation. This is what this thing of ours is about. And if you don't humble yourself down to a itty bitty baby when you first come into this thing, you set yourself up for failure, man.
Yeah, I'll never understand, you know, and I pray that the Lord keeps that spirit on me, how a man is deterred by a scourge, man. Is deterred by being disciplined. What did you read? What did you think you was getting into?
Yeah.
This is not Mrs. McLean, your first grade elementary school teacher says, "Oh, it's okay," and pat you on the back. This is a serious thing that's happening to us, man. We gotta be purged for all the weakness in us, man. We gotta purge the weakness in us, you know. Go ahead, bro. Yep. So you know, for you to be deterred or to be disenchanted by somebody scourging you, something is wrong with you, man. That's almost like, you know, you disown your own father because he gave you a spanking for doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. Don't you want to be fixed? That's what we're doing, man. We're being fixed. Right now we're damaged goods, and we're being fixed so that we can rule the world, man. Give me real quick. Give me Revelations 2 and 26. Just check the time really
This
quick.
is Revelation chapter 2, verse 26. "And he that overcometh and keepeth my work unto the end,
Right.
to him will I give power over the
Right.
nations."
Now read it from the top again.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 26. "And he that overcometh and keepeth my work
Right.
unto the end."
Overcometh what? When you overcome something, that means there was some obstacle there. To overcome something is to let's look it up. Let's look up that word. Let me look that up really quick.
You went through something. You went through something to overcome, you know?
Right.
And there wasn't no marching with Martin Luther King.
Right. So what's that? Revelation 2:26.
2026. Real quick, I read this piece too. Chapter 3, verse 12. It says, "Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple," is that word overcome,
Right.
"and a temple of my power, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of the Most High, in the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which is coming down out of heaven from the Most High, and I will write upon him my new name.
So here's the definition here for overcometh. It's Nikao, and it says to conquer, to carry off the victory, come off victorious. It says of the anointed, victorious over all his foes. Right. So how did the Lord Yahweh Shai gain victory? He had to be hung on the cross. He had to be spit on. He had to be chastened. He had to be lied on. He had to overcome things that were difficult, man. And for us to overcome, there's difficult things that are gonna come in our way, and being scourged is one of them, man. You know, don't run from scourging. You say, look, man, look, there's a reason why this brother's saying this to me. There's a reason why this is happening. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna see what I need to fix and fix it. You know, you don't buy you don't buy a desk from Walmart and then have just put the desk all in pieces all on your living room floor. You got to put those pieces together. You gotta attach those pieces and put them together so that you can have a complete desk, so that it can function the way it's supposed to function, the way you intended to function. And it's the same thing with us. When it comes time for that end, when it comes time, we have to function the way the Lord has intended us to function, man. And in order for that to happen, we got to be fixed. We're damaged goods, man. You know, we were in the box. It said fragile on it, and UPS shook us around, and we came out all broke up and maimed and hammered. So the Lord is building us up, man. Rebuilding the tabernacles of David doesn't just mean joining the house of Israel together. It means each individual, man. You can't take a brick. You can't make a brick wall with chunks of brick here and there. You got to have whole bricks. And then you have to have the mortar to hold those bricks together. So that's what's happening to us right now, man. We're being fixed. We're being put together. We're being repaired, rejuvenated. That's what's happening to us. And if you have disdain towards that, and my thing is this, who's gonna fix you then? Are you guys gonna fix each other? I doubt it, because y'all probably take the approach like, oh, it's alright, brother, it's alright, because you don't even want to, because you want to be different from what GMS is doing, right? So let's don't worry about it, brother. And now nobody's being fixed. Y'all just three knuckleheads on the side of the street, just speaking, man.
Let me read this.
You know?
Let me read this.
Yeah. Check the time really quick. Go ahead.
So, Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
Right.
I would that they were cold or hot.
Right.
So because thou art lukewarm,
Right.
and neither cold nor hot,
Right.
I will spew thee out of thy mouth.
Right. So this is the danger that you run into if you're going to be lukewarm, to be spewed out of the mouth. So you need another brother to heat you up, man. You need or an elder or some. You need someone to heat you up and put that fire in your ass. I did a show a while back. Are we under a spell from the elders? It's not a spell, but it's a provocation, emulation, as it says in the scriptures. We're being provoked to emulate the things that they do, man. We're being provoked to be like unto Yahweh Shai, man. Go ahead.
It says, because thou sayest I am rich and increase with goods, and have need nothing of these guys.
Right.
You got it.
I don't need anything.
You don't need rebuke. You don't need
Right.
nobody to talk to. You don't need nobody over you.
Right.
You got everything. You got the riches, which is talking about the word.
Right.
You got everything. You don't need nobody to give you the breakdowns. You don't need nobody to tell you when you're going off. You don't need nothing.
I had this teacher in 5th grade. His name was Mr. Moore, and he was this he was a real uppity Edomite. He might not even been an Edomite, but he was a real uppity dude, man. And every time I read this dude's comments on the comment board, it reminds me of that. Like somebody who's trying to sound so you're not even a real person, man. You don't even know who you are. You haven't been educated, and I mean educated at the true sense of the word, to even find out who you are yet. No, nobody talk like that in real life. On the contrary, brother. No, nobody talks like that. You don't even know who you are. You haven't been educated. Somebody give me Romans 10. Romans 10. I'm just paranoid about this time, man. It's about to stop, man. Romans 10.